Check 1, 2. Everybody missed me yesterday. Oh shit, you thought I was being lazy, thought I was doing nothing, sitting around doing nothing, right? Fuck that shit, man. I don't do that shit, man. I don't play nothing. I don't do that. I'm always doing something. It's just I wasn't doing it on video. I was doing something else. I was doing some very, very important business yesterday. And it had to do with so good morning, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Let everybody get in here. Let everybody get in here because they think Conte's dead or something because he missed a day. Because yesterday all he did was put out a stupid cat video. Well, not a stupid cat video. It's Granny Cat. Granny Cat. It's high maintenance, man. You know, taking care of Granny Cats. It's difficult. But no, I was doing something else yesterday. I was dealing with the New York State Division of Human Rights, right? This guy, remember? This case is happening, man. We're going to set some precedents, right? They're scared shit of me, right? So yesterday, I'll give you the details. I'm not going to give you all the details because I don't want the opposing party. I'll tell you what happened, right? Yesterday was supposed to be a hearing for all parties in Marcus Conte versus the Brooklyn Hospital Center, the case of get your white privilege out of here, the case of the racist security guard asking me to get my white privilege out of here while I was filming at the hospital. So the New York State Division of Human Rights has taken an amazing interest in this case. Whoa, setting up investigation hearings. They're not calling it a hearing, but I will call it a hearing. They are hearing it out. They're hearing out both sides. So yesterday, there was a telephonic conference, right? And it was supposed to be with all parties. The other party, right? The Brooklyn Hospital Center was supposed to show up with both of their security guards, both of their racist security guards, and have to answer questions from the investigator, not from me. No cross-examination, right? So what happened was the New York the hospital asked New York State Division of Human Rights if they could do it separately because they're afraid. They're afraid. Oh, man. You talk about, like, lawyers, but what are you afraid of? Why? You don't want to confront me? You don't want me to hear what you're going to say? I'm going to find out what you say anyway because their hearing is going to be on Wednesday. And on Thursday, I'll be supplied all of the minutes. And I could tell you without really giving too much away, Brooklyn Hospital Center, you guys are in trouble, man. I'm telling you, the investigators are asking real questions, man. They want to know. They want to know about you guys, right? And they want to know, right? You guys, you better not lie, man. When it comes to Wednesday, tell the truth, man. Tell the truth. Save yourself now. Don't fucking lie. Excuse me. Don't lie. Don't lie about what happened. Don't say you didn't say this and you didn't say that when the recording says you said it. Everybody knows you said it. Be honest. Be open. So that's what I was doing yesterday. And it was and I will give you all of those details as I deem necessary. But let the other party speak. Let them speak before I speak. Let the record be clear what they said and how they defend themselves and all that stuff, right? So this is going to be really. They are frozen with fear. Yeah, man, they stay fucked up, right? Because you know what it is. You could argue with someone down the block, right? And you can have all your lawyers bully them, and you can have all the information swept under the rug. But when you fuck with someone like me who has a platform and has zero fucks left to give, right? You're in trouble because you're going to get exposed for exactly what you did. Right? You're going to say that I offended you at the hospital. This is a big case. This is big, man. I wish one of these jack-off mainstream media organizations, maybe the New York Post should cover this, right? Right? Reporter racially targeted at a hospital. Where's the mainstream media buzz? Where's the fucking, come on, guys. This is big. This is big. New York State Division of Human Rights, in my view, in my guesstimation, is investigating this with a vigor. Right? And probable cause is a very low bar. So if we get probable cause, oh boy, we're going to have a trial, and I get to cross-examine all you clowns. Racist black guy, we're going to find out your name. We're going to find out your affiliations, if you're affiliated with any of the black Muslim racist groups or Antifa, Black Lives Matter, or whatever. We're going to find out. So you might as well just say, you made a mistake. Oh, yeah, I blurted it out. I didn't mean it. Say whatever you want to say, right? But we're going to find out, right? We're going to find out who you are. And we're going to find out all the details. And everybody is going to know every detail. That's how this is going to go. Just a little bit of a heads up. If you think that I was going to roll over, you're wrong. I'm after the truth. Tell the truth. Make restitution for harm done, and move on. Don't fucking lie. Don't fucking lie. Okay? The investigators are very nice. They're very inquisitive. Don't fucking lie. All right? Don't pull your lawyer bullshit and lie. All right? Because liars end up on the chopping block around here. Because you're going to lie. If you tell the truth, that's I made a mistake. I'm sorry. That's different. That's a different equity. But if you're going to lie. So that's where I was yesterday. So I was dealing with So we'll have more details, as I said, Wednesday. The Brooklyn Hospital will be questioned by the New York State Division of Human Rights, and on Thursday I will be supplied those minutes, of which I will share as much as I can at this point. I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to give away too much of what's said to the lawyers before they say it. If you understand that, it weakens my case. Why would I want to tell you everything that was said? Right? And then the lawyers will just unwind everything that I said. Right? That's why you have two people in the room at the same time. So they got around that one. So, but I'm not stupid. You'll have to wait We'll all wait till Thursday, and we will find out every single detail of what's going on. And also the BitChute account is getting larger and larger. The LARP jackoffs, the Dave Actons of the world, the schizophrenic psychopaths of the world, the George Webb's brother, crazy motherfuckers, the Lepo, the LARPer, and Thomas Schoenberger, the fucking criminal. It's amazing. These guys are straight up hoodlums, and they are trying to block. Based on privacy. Oh, Lepo, the LARPer, he got this blocked on BitChute, but you can see it on my website if you want. They've blocked nothing. Everything that they blocked on YouTube gets thrown over to BitChute. And as I said, fuck you all, right? Fuck you all. You thought this was over. You thought that you were going to come and play nice and you're going to smear Conte and he's going to take it and he's going to become our friend one day and he's going to work on our side, pitching our bullshit stories. You have no fucking idea to what degree I will crush you guys. I will continue to crush you until you roll over, until you say, I fucked up, right? Now, the record is getting thicker and thicker on these idiots, right? We have clear and convincing evidence. A federal judge has spoken in Swaggart versus Goodman, painting them both as conspiracy lunatics, kooks. Right? All public record. Don't scratch. You could try to strike this video all you want, you idiots. Right? Oh, I spoke about you. No, you're speaking to the federal judges, which is public record. I'm just reiterating the public record. But nonetheless, they're cowards, and that's what they do. Don't talk about me. I'm going to smear you. I'm going to put out 100 5-minute stalker videos. I'm going to run your name into the ground hours and hours and hours on my teenage FBI site. I knocked that down, by the way, the teenage FBI site. That was my doing. I took that shit down for copyright infringement. Those guys used every bit of my videos, and I knocked it down. I got them deleted from YouTube. Right? Part of the big part of what they did, and then they continued, and I had the opportunity to knock that one down, and I let it go. But the point is that these guys are what they do is they side with the enemy. They side with the bad guys, right? With the stalkers, and they give the stalkers a platform. And then when the stalker has a problem, they say, "Oh, see, I was exposing the stalker." No, you were benefiting the stalker. You were elevating the stalker. You were making the stalking possible, and that's why you're guilty. So become a Patreon of this channel. Good morning, everybody. I'm going on and on over here about this nonsense, but we're gonna talk about some big boy stuff in a second. Put on your big boy pants. How's my lights look? Oh, you want to see something great? You want to see something great? This is the pause, man. Now this. I found this in the lobby of my building. Now this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen. Look at this. Look at this. This right here is a penguin notepad. Penguin notepad. It's pink, right? It goes with the pink umbrella theme, right? But it's a pink umbrella. It's a pink penguin. So you're out in the street, right? And it's got, look at the colors, so beautiful, right? Blue with glitter and orange feet and yellow. It's very childish, right? And you and someone says, "Can I get your number?" And you say, "Wow!" You whip open your penguin book, right? And then the paper. You can see the paper, right? The paper is penguin. The paper are penguins, right? So if I give you my information, right, I write it on penguin paper, and then I rip it out and I give you a piece of penguin paper. Right? It's beautiful, right? That's so beautiful, man. I would never have, and it's good quality too. It's like chipboard or something, right? It's fucking chipboard. Amazing, man. It's amazing, amazing things you find in this life. So Patreon, that's how we do this work. We are a steamroller, and we will continue to clobber the kooks online that smear people and make. I wanted to say also about this Millie Weaver video. Okay, I watched it. I got till about halfway, and I got a high bullshit detector. I didn't see facts. I just saw a lot of conspiracy theory. It was very reminiscent of what Alex Jones does. It leaves out specifics, and I just couldn't get excited about it. I couldn't get excited about what she was saying. It was regurgitated conspiracy theories on top of conspiracy theories, but no real, I don't know, in my view, nothing that I can really go, oh, that's different, No, it's mostly conspiracy theory. And so that's where I stopped watching it. And I don't know, why did she get arrested? I don't know. There are coincidences. She is hanging out with Alex Jones. They do break the law, to some degree. Alex Jones is not an outstanding citizen. So until there's further evidence, it is sad that they deleted her video, and she simultaneously was arrested. I didn't follow what happened to her. She's probably released and such on a couple of different charges. But sorry, I just maybe down the road I can get excited about it. I just couldn't get excited about that. Yeah, it did seem like it seemed a bit of a LARP. It seemed a bit of a live action role play. She got in trouble, so Alex Jones shifted gears, and they tried to say it had something to do to coincide with the release of their video that ultimately got a million hits, a million views before YouTube took it down. And that's all said, but in this reporter's view, I have nothing to really bite into based on her video. Again, it just seemed regurgitation of what we already knew. So what the hell's going on? Thank you everybody for joining me. What the hell's going on in California? Blackouts, rolling blackouts miss Bay Area on Monday, but threat remains throughout the week. All right, so there's massive heat. Heat is what's doing it, right? There's heat all over California. I didn't know that, man. Down in Texas, there's a couple of real hot spots over in Nevada. And 130 degrees in Death Valley, California. Wow. The temperature of Death Valley National Park hit a scorching 130 degrees on Sunday, marking what could be the hottest temperature on Earth since at least 1913, the National Weather Service says. Wow, 130 degrees. That's like, you could fry an egg, man. You could. I don't know how much time you would have if you were out in that direct sun, but I don't know, maybe an hour if you're in good shape. Maybe an hour you could survive without melting, right? If you have no water, you'd probably dead. You'd probably dead in half a day, dead, dried out, dehydrated. Some hot. That's really some fucking. That's like you go like this and your hand burns. Right? I remember that in Las Vegas as a kid. You would ride your bike and your face would burn because it was 104, 106, 110. That's hot. Now 130, that's like, wow, that's really burning. Like if you touch something metal, you're going to get burned. So the temperature of Death Valley hit a scorching 130. And there's no climate change, though. This is not climate change. This is just this is just a natural reaction of the Earth, right? It has nothing to do with too many humans burning fossil fuels and fracking into the environment and polluting the oceans and killing off all the species of the world and occupying more than 60% of the globe's Earth. It has nothing to do with that. Running 5,000 planes at a time in the air, burning rocket fuel, sucking the resources out of the Earth, digging holes. It's nothing, right? It's just 7 billion humans. No. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more of a natural occurrence, if that's what you believe. Right? Climate change is a hoax. Come on, it's real as a heart attack. The Arctic ice caps. It's a perfect storm. Right? Where it's caused by human activity. There's too many goddamn people, which leads me to a story in the end. Is there a concerted effort to depopularize the Earth? Now, I like that theory. I think that there's some validity to that theory, but I couldn't find solid evidence in the statistics to prove it. I will look at the fertility rates and population rates, right? Something doesn't add up there, right? Because fertility has been on a downcline since the 1800s. People used to have 7 kids, now they have, 2 or 1.5 kids, right? And women, right? So the numbers of the idea of depopularization that just started now because of a pandemic doesn't really hold water until the numbers really, really decline, or until women stop having kids, which I don't think is going to do. So there's crazy temperatures. It's not just Death Valley. It's all over. It's Arizona. This is real. It's some real shit, right? So reliable measures concluded with certainty that the actual hottest temperature ever reliably measured on Earth is 129.2 degrees Fahrenheit, shared by Death Valley on June 30th, 2013, and in Kuwait, July 21st, 2016. So there's a tie. A tie for the hottest climate is 129.2 degrees. And we're just going to roll right past that, right? In the modern age, man. Well, it's the hottest recorded in recorded history. Remember, Earth has been around billions of years, and we don't know for sure. Well, we do know. The Earth was covered with lava. It was probably fucking 500 degrees, and it was probably minus 50 degrees during the Ice Age, or minus hundreds of degrees during the Ice Age, and plus maybe hundreds of degrees. We don't know. We don't know. Our recorded history suggests that the planet is warming up, and it appears to have something to do with human activity. So anyway, do what you want with it. Do what you want with it. Believe. Put your head in the sand. It has nothing to do with humans. It's just a natural occurrence. Okay. So North Korea. This is crazy shit. Look at this. Kim Jong-un orders pet dogs to be confiscated in North Korean capital. Why? You're taking away people's pets? Imagine that. Imagine Mr. America in the middle of this country. Imagine if some politician came into your house and said, "Give me your dog." What would you do? Your pet dog, your best friend, your fucking, your best buddy, man, your dog. You're gonna let some politician take your dog? No, you're gonna fucking shoot them back right out the door, right? It's me and the dog is gonna eat you. Dog's gonna eat you. You're not gonna eat the dog. So what's the reasoning behind confiscating people's dogs? Are they eating the dogs? Is that what's going on? Because that is the speculation, but I don't know if that's what's going on. North Korean dictator. It's bizarre, really, what he's saying. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un has ordered pet dogs to be confiscated in the country's capital, saying the pooches represent Western decadence. You have a dog, that means that's Western. But their owners fear Fido is really headed for someone's dinner table. Are they eating the dogs? Eating people's pets. How cruel. How fucking... You might as well eat their kids, right? I mean, really. If you come in and try to take my cats, I mean, that's war. That's fucking war. All right, so North Korea, you don't really have a chance because they're gonna take you. They're gonna put you in a box and make the box disappear. I get that part of it, but that might be the hill you die on. Someone trying to take your cat, take your dog. So Kim issued a directive in July to round up the pets, claiming they were part of a tainted trend by bourgeois ideology. A source told the English edition of Chosen Lobo, a South Korean newspaper. Ordinary people raise pigs and livestock on their porches, but high-ranking officials and the wealthy own pet dogs, which stokes some resentment, unquote, among the lower class. So the lower class is pissed off that the that the Western decadence of the wealthy are walking around with pooches. They're walking pooches while they're starving to death, right? They're starving to death. Maybe the peasants have no problem eating the rich's dogs. Maybe that's what's going on. Kim Jong-un is saying, okay, we'll take the dogs, not my dog, not his dog, not Kim Jong-un's dog, but take some rich motherfucker's dog and give it to the poor so they can eat it. And that'll teach you. Maybe that's what's in his mind. So, authorities have identified households with pet dogs and are forcing them to give them up or forcefully confiscating them and putting them down. Wow, if you don't give up your dog, they'll kill the dog right in front of you. Ew, it's cruel. And maybe they'll eat the dog too. Roll in the barbecue or something. But while the oppressive regime says the move is to clamp down on capitalist extravagance in Pyongyang, I always wanted to go to Pyongyang. Oh man, I fucking love to go. You know where else I wanted to go? I wanted to go to Burma. When I was in Thailand, that's a trip you could take. It's a little risky because there's no your dollar is not really there's no central banking. You don't. It's very, very shady. So you're taking a risk going into Burma. But man, what you'll see is beautiful. It's like Cambodia too. Cambodia is intense. Cambodia is I think I would like to say that Burma would someday become the new Cambodia, where people will go in there and see this beautiful, untouched, culture frozen in stone kind of thing. It's pretty intense, right? But anyway, Pyongyang in North Korea, where they eat their dogs. The dog owners are cursing Kim Jong-un behind his back, but otherwise, their hands are tied, the sources lament. Look at this guy, man. Fucking give me a dog, man. Give me a fucking dog. Give me a daughter. Give me a daughter. Send your daughters. Send cigarettes. Send dogs. Send food. Because I'm a fat fuck. Anyway, so here we go. Bernie Sanders. All right, Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Morning, everybody in the chat. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Jason Walsh in the house. Me So Hungry is here. Calito Brigante. How are you, man? How are you? Mike Fletcher. What's up? What's up, everybody? Raymond. What's up, everybody? What's up, Rand? How are you, Rand? Good to see you in there. And Kim Stanford. Kim. Tetragamation Ghost. NB, hello NB. Quantum Epic, JB, Me So Hungry, Quantum Epic. So I see you all in there. I see you. Thank you for joining, man. I really do appreciate it. I do. So we talked about blackouts. We talked about heat. We talked about Kim Jong-un eating your dog. I bet he's eating a dog. How many dogs do you think this guy ate? How many dogs? Now eating dog in Korea is legit. It's like eating cow here. People eat cows. Right? Sadly, they do. They eat chickens. Fucking terrible. Right? People eat chickens. How many dogs do you think Kim Jong-un has eaten personally? You think he's eaten a whole dog in one sitting? Get that motherfucker and bring me his dog. I will eat his. Imagine that as punishment. Kim Jong-un eats your dog in front of you. They serve up your dog. Crazy, man. It's crazy shit. So here's where the energy goes down. If it isn't down already, right? So I tried to watch the DNC remote convention. What a fucking sham. What a ripoff, right? It's a failing. You know what they did? They tailored the whole thing around Joe Biden's low energy, Joe Biden's inability to connect with an audience, Joe Biden's inability to move a crowd. So they formulated this whole spiel, this whole thing works to Joe Biden's advantage because he doesn't really have to say anything till the end. He's gonna give a speech remotely. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be over practiced. It's gonna be lacking detail. It's a sad thing. We don't have free and fair elections anymore in this country. To all the people that are screaming, paper ballots, mail-in ballots. Yeah. Paper ballots, yeah. Oh, yeah. We like paper ballots, but who's counting the paper ballots? That's the problem. Who counts the ballots? You can't have just say, oh, we have paper ballots, therefore we have a legitimate election. No, we have a very corrupt election. We have a rigged election, and whoever counts those votes wins. Right? It's not who votes. Look how many votes they threw out. They threw out, 100,000, hundreds of thousands of votes get thrown in the fucking garbage pail because you signed up too late. You didn't sign your thing. You're from the wrong area. So here's Bernie Sanders endorsing Joe Biden.
Good evening. Our great nation is now living in an unprecedented moment. We're facing the worst public health crisis in 100 years and the worst economic collapse since the Great Depression. We are confronting systemic racism and the enormous threat to our planet of climate change.
True.
And in the midst of all of this, we have a president who is not only incapable of addressing these crises, but is leading us down the path of authoritarianism.
False.
This election is the most important in the modern history of this country.
False.
In response to the unprecedented crises we face, we need an unprecedented response, a movement like never before.
True.
Of people who are prepared to stand up and fight for democracy and decency.
But you're not the guy. You're not the guy, Bernie. And listen to this. I'm sorry. I cut it off at the best part.
Prepared to stand up and fight for democracy and decency and against greed, oligarchy, and bigotry.
Against greed, oligarchy, and bigotry. Wow. Yes, Bernie. Yes. Yes, Bernie, you're pushing all the right buttons. Fight against greed, oligarchy, and bigotry. How are we going to do it?
And we need Joe Biden as our next president. Let me take this.
Oh, man, Bernie Sanders. That's how you're going to... Listen to that again. That's classic, right? It's unbelievable. Listen to this shit.
And fight for democracy and decency and against greed
and
oligarchy, and
bigotry.
And we need Joe Biden as our next president.
Joe Biden is the greedy oligarch. Joe Biden with Obama was, come on, look how much he's no different than Trump. His ideology is actually worse than Trump. Trump at least wants to shake it up with China. Sorry, Bernie. You're not going to do it, man. It's not going to work, man. This shit is not going to work. What a sad day, man. It's about all I could take of Bernie. It's 8 minutes. You got 57 seconds. Sorry, Bernie. So, yeah, LARPers. I wanted to explore this video. I hadn't talked about this. This is you're going to see something very interesting. So this is Nathan Stoltman, who for a long time that's his cat Doshi, who has passed on. Nathan moved down to Texas. The cat died, but he's still doing his thing on D Live. I like Nathan. I want to point out something that although I did have a little riff with Nathan, I saw him. I don't like when people go into the LARPer community and start doing kumbaya with these guys, like becoming part of it, and then pointing the finger at other LARPers. No, when you do that, you become part of the problem. And Nathan is on the record saying that I'm one of the LARPers. People don't know who he is, and that's fucked up because it's just it's not true, and B, I called him out on it. He never apologized for that. So there is that's the only riff. Other than that, I like the work that Nathan does. I think he's smart. He's very intelligent. He's more intelligent than I am. Fucking guy's like smart. He's a smart young man. He's a smart young man, right? But here I want to show you. I want to demonstrate to you how extortion works. Right? And enter Dave Acton, right? Dave Swaggart, Dave the criminal. Right? Is it extortion? You tell me. Right? I'll take that back. He's not a criminal yet. But what is extortion? What is bullying people to give, to roll over so that you do their work? What they do is they make your life miserable. They gang stalk you, him, Schoenberger, Lepo, and they run round the clock noise at you, right? Trying to paint you as what they are, trying to paint you as the criminal when they're the criminal. So they did that to Nathan Stoltman a while ago, and I don't. That's all I don't have any other opinion of Nathan. You want to call him a Zionism and fucking whatever, man. I don't know. He's just he was very cordial and very open to discussing with me early on when nobody really knew who I was. And we talked about Seth Rich, and we talked about some really good subjects. And we talked about the Jenny Moore. Him and I advanced the Jenny Moore murder mystery. Where was it George Webb who actually did it? Right? We looked at that together. So I have respect for him. But here I would like to see him at least rebuttal this, right? And in here you see how he allowed Dave Acton and his team of felons, the felony squad, felony.org, right? That's his handle on YouTube. Felony squad. He's a felon. Is he a felony squad? He's part of felony squad. And so he makes hell for Nathan early on. I guess this is early on in Nathan's game, right? And then Nathan is taken back by it and saying, "Can you guys please stop? I'll do anything." Let's listen to it. Listen to it.
Tell me this: if I stop talking about it, what can I get somebody to take the pressure off my channel for a little?
The pressure off his channel, Nathan said. If I stop talking about something or start talking about something, whatever, can you guys take the pressure off my channel? That's fucking extortion. That's what it is. That's hostile takeover. That's gang stalking. We're going to make you fucking miserable, right? That's what it is.
A little while and let me actually get subscribers and get views. Listen. Can you guys control that? Because I've noticed tampering with my channel.
I don't know the ins and outs of YouTube.
Well, who do I have to talk
I don't know.
I want to find out what the offer is because I'm willing to turn.
That's the voice of Dave Acton, D. George Swaggart, whatever you want to call him, the Port Neches bomber, guy that was reported to the FBI. George Webb's crazy brother, whatever you call him, he's still alive. He's still out there, still tormenting people. Right? Has he had his day in court? Well, the federal judges are now confirming civilly that he's a kook, that he's a conspiracy theorist, that he is violating laws and such. Right? But can we get a criminal charge on this guy finally, like Schoenberger? I hope so.
Down if I can get a much bigger real audience.
All right, I understand that, but I have to tell you something. I'm an independent individual right now. I don't have influence or persuasion over any groups, over YouTube, over Google, over government agency. I don't have any persuasion powers over those people. I can document things. I can put things on paper, and people can read them, and maybe it'll lead them to a conclusion. But that's the business I'm in. So there's no phone calls I can make.
So he is in a business. He's in a business of making your life miserable. He called it a business. Did I call it a business? That's the business I'm in. The business of making someone's life miserable through multiple sources and then approaching that person, getting them to fold. Now, Nathan Stoltman has 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's not a small attack. All right, now I think he's at D Live with like 10,000 subscribers. Nathan Stoltman has reach, and that's the point, that the scumbags, the LARPers, the live-action role players, Schoenberger, Swaggart, George Webb to some degree, certainly Lepo the LARPer, Steve Outram, the fake researcher, Jacqueline Weaver of the Tracking the Leopard Merlots, Christian extremism. These are all fucked up people. DeFango flaming the fire right now. I'm sorry, DeFango. You're flaming this fire. This is something you're supposed to let go. So Nathan Stoltman is. You see in this video, he's clearly trapped. He clearly knows who's giving him shit, and he's begging, literally begging Dave Acton, the criminal, to lighten up.
Manc and say, don't bother Nathan anymore, or I don't know who makes that call, but it's not me.
Well, I'm willing to talk because I think I've done enough damage. So I might be willing to stop talking about it for the right deal. And it's not money, it's influence. So you think about that, and you other guys think about it too, because I'm willing to stop talking about it. I think I've done enough damage, and there are other people who can pick up the flag. And you might have, you might have to negotiate with all of them. But something's been going on to turn YouTubers kind of over, and I haven't asked for your opinion on Defango yet. So anyway, I'm interested in what the offer is if somebody wants to reach out. And
so Nathan totally doesn't believe Acton has no influence. Nathan Stolman in this video is convinced that Dave Acton is somebody important. That's what Dave Acton does. Dave Acton is a nobody. Dave Acton is a crazy person who drives around in an RV. He's George Webb's brother, the schizophrenic George Webb, who got knocked off YouTube, who has defamed hundreds of people. That's all Dave Acton is. Dave Acton is a guy who spends all of his time, makes a career out of following decent people around, destabilizing their life, and then trying to get in there and take something for himself, trying to redirect the energy. That's what this video reveals. That's why it's not damning. It's not damning so much to Nathan that he fell for it, because under that pressure, as I said, they come at you full force, 10 people at once, pounding the shit out of you. Guys like Lepo giving him a nightly platform to come on and run their smear campaigns on people. So if you've never been, Gabe Hoffman was a victim of this, right? And Gabe Hoffman has Schoenberger in court. He has his boot on Schoenberger's throat. And it looks like I don't think Schoenberger's capable of shutting his hole. Now, is there money involved, or are they just psychopaths? I don't know. We never really found out, but we may if we can get criminal charges on both of these guys.
And I can see that they can, deal with the manipulation that's going on with my traffic and my subscribers. I might be interested.
All right. So yeah. So this is I think this is fucking Freddie who put it up. But anyway, there you go. That is that is pretty damning evidence of Nathan Stolman sweating his ass off over the Acton and his felony squad of Schoenberger, Lepo, and all the other names. Who wants to name them, right? Getting together and attacking people. So make what you will with it, Nathan. I'm not dissing you. I'm just pointing out that you fell victim to this guy, and there is no forgiving this. There is no, oh, Dave's a good guy. No, that's not how you handle it. Defango, you crush these guys. You push them into oblivion. That's how you win. That's how you win this. That's how you stay in the truth. That's what I'm trying to say. So that was a little diversion. So, Marcus Conte reporting. Let's talk about remote schools. Remote schools, wow. Fucking separate our children. Separate them. Put them in little cubicles, separated. Is that what we want to do with our people? And have kids forget how to play sports. Team sports are over. No more baseball, no more basketball. Let's play chess. Well, no, chess you have to touch the pieces. Let's play, I don't know, gymnastics or something other individual, an individual sport, like maybe tennis, where you don't actually have to touch the other person. You only swat the ball back and forth and spit on each other. Or boxing. Not boxing. A lot of fluid exchange in boxing. But this whole idea that children are being separated is a little disgusting. And what does it do? It brings into light remote teaching. Is there a concerted effort in this country to move towards homeschooling? Is homeschooling good? I don't know. I'm a product of the public school system, and look how fantastic I turned out. Who has hair like me in their 50s? Right? Who's got fucking bigger balls than me? Right? I grew up. I am a product of public education, public subways, public schools, public parks. That's how I grew up. Now, as a younger person, my mom owned a candy store in Staten Island, and we weren't living. I was never living in poverty as a kid. I can never say that. My mom provided, single mom provided. We were, whatever it took. And so I never hurt for anything. I always had I went to concerts. I always had $20 in my pocket. I never hurt as a kid. I was always food, grandma's house, mom's house. So I don't know poverty, but I do know that I am the product of the public schools in New York. And these guys are trying to shut it down, right? 40,000, the requests, remote-only school requests jumped 40,000 in 1 week. So there's this movement this isn't homeschooling. This is just remote schooling at home, meaning that you're part of the public school, but it's at home. Now, you know how much etiquette, you know how much of the quality of the education you remove. Because I'll tell you, in public schools, it's beautiful. There's a school right down the block from me, and you go in there, and it's old, and they have the high ceilings and the marble floors, and the old water fountains, and the sound, the echo of the marble, and the high ceilings, and those big drop down lights, and you go into the classrooms, and the windows are the size of the wall. Right? Big, well-lit rooms. It's beautiful. You sit at the old wooden table with the other kids and you listen to the teacher speak and you learn how to be polite and not speak out and fart and call other people, fight. You learn how to be with people. You learn how to be with people in public school. And how to deal with people that you're not ordinarily friendly with, right? That's how people mix. People start to learn about other through public education. Right? But that's not where we're heading, right? Because of the coronavirus, because of everybody's going to get sick. The number of families opting out of classroom learning jumped by 4,000 in the past week, 40,000 in the past week, with Hispanic families accounting for the highest number. Why is that? Latin kids, who comprise 41% of the overall Department of Education population, accounted for 37% of those who selected fully remote instruction. Interesting. Asians, who are 18% of the system, made up 28% of the total. So it looks like all totals are going up. Latinos went down a little bit, 30, whatever. Black students, who comprise 22% of the nation's largest school system, account for, this is New York City only, 20% of those who choose full-time distance learning. So a significant trend. As of Friday, listen to this, as of Friday, 300,000 kids will not be back in their school buildings, up from roughly 264 last week. Wow, that's a huge amount of kids. The updated number of students who will return is now 697, down from 736. All right, so it's not radically okay. If that's the numbers, right? So it's let me get this right. The updated numbers of students who will return is 697, down from 736. Okay, it's not that extreme. It's showing. I can't confirm exactly what I'm seeing here, but there is a significant move. Let's just say that there is a significant move towards remote learning in New York City, and I don't like it. There's too much that the kid doesn't get being around other kids. So schools are reopening, then quickly closing due to coronavirus outbreak. This is college, I guess. Campuses are shutting down in-person learning indefinitely for a couple of days to deep clean buildings. Really, Wall Street Journal. Tell me about it. A growing number of schools. Oh, look, you have to subscribe to read the whole article. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Right? As back-to-school season approaches, districts across the country are grappling with concerns over student and teacher safety, in Quincy, Illinois, public schools are using a popular hybrid model to reopen. And what does that mean? Keep everybody away from each other, 9 feet away? Oh, come on, man. Come on. You're sucking the life out of these schools. You're just going to desanitize it where there's no fun. There's no more fun. There's no patty cake. There's no nothing. You can't even play patty cake, right? You can't shake hands. You can't give anybody a hug. You can't touch anybody. You can't touch the same blocks that they touched. You can't play ball. You can't throw a ball because the other kid touched the ball. What a tragedy. What a fucking psycho tragedy when no kids die of coronavirus. We're talking about a flu that killed less than 0.04% of the population. 0.04%. The influenza pandemic in 1918 and 19 killed 4% of the population, right? 4 out of 100. Here we're talking about, 4 in 1,000 or less. It's just ridiculous, right? People die of the flu. They do die of the flu. But it's heartbreaking to see what's going on in our country in the name of put your mask on. Put your mask on. Now, here's this working theory, right? I gotta make a disclaimer here. Working theory, right? Now, the working theory, which I kind of locked onto a little bit about this is just United States fertility rates. The theory is that the coronavirus and the pandemic was designed to decrease the population of the globe because it'll either kill you or people will be so afraid of each other that they won't have sex. They won't meet each other. They'll be so fearful that the woman fertility rate, which has been on a decline forever, will plunge maybe to the negative where women stop having children altogether. Now, is that true? Well, the evidence doesn't support it. All right, so look at here. Look at 1800s. This here is 1800. And you can see in 1800, women had an average of 7.03 children. 7 children per woman. And as you go down, it gets to 6.5, right? In the 1840s, 6, right around the time of Lincoln, 1860s, 5, 4, 1880s, 4.5, 4.8, 4.6. And you see it's slowly going down, and it bottomed in the 1940s. Now, here's the biggest tell right here. Look at this year, 1920. Right, that is the year of the big influenza. Right, that was the year of the influenza. Now the chart is already plunging. Right, but when society got this influenza that killed 3 or 4% of the population, the fertility rate was 3.29. And you see it kept going down and down and down well to the end of World War II. So you can't necessarily blame influenza for that. You could blame a war, right? The war machine. It was plunging, and then it stopped right about 1940 and started to reverse again, going up. But it was only a blip. It was just a blip. Look at that chart. If you look at statistical analysis, that chart is going straight down. It's breaking down. Well, can it reverse? And of course, things can reverse. But that is not. If this was a stock, you wouldn't be buying this stock. You would be selling this stock because it's probably going down to 1. From 2, it's going to 1, maybe a half. But why? Here's the question: why, if woman fertility is low, why is the population doubling and tripling exponentially? That's what I don't understand. I'm not a math guy. Numbers fuck me up. But if there's 7 billion people, right, in 1970, let's look at 1970, the population was I think 2.5 billion humans on Earth. Now we have 7 billion humans on Earth. So how did we go from if the mortality rate is lower, right? If the fertility rate is lower, how the hell does the population increase? I don't understand that. I don't get it, right? But here this might answer the question. Look how many kids in Nigeria, in Niger. I hope I didn't say that wrong. Niger. Niger. I don't know how to pronounce it. Niger. It's a country in Africa. It's not the slur. And look, they have 7 children. 7. Right now. This is 2019, right? And all over Africa. And here's, this is Iraq. All over Africa, Madagascar, Ethiopia, where you remember the Ethiopian lady that I interviewed said, "Oh no, I'm not from Africa. I'm not from Africa." You are from Africa, according to us. We are. You are. Where else? So I don't really understand. No, it is birth rate and birth rate. Raymond Duncan says that's birth rate, not fertility. It's the same. Birth rate is fertility is defined as how many children a woman will have in her lifetime. That's the definition of fertility. So they are the same. I was confused on that before I looked it up. Niger, excuse me. So there you go. I looked that up. You can look it up too. So that's that. So I'm still perplexed. Why if the number of children women are having per year, or in their lifetime is going down, how do we end up with more and more people? Could you imagine if the trend shifts and people start having 7 kids again? Whoa, they'll be they won't be eating their dogs. They'll be eating each other. Will humans eat each other? Well, historically they have. They used to. Why waste good meat? They would go to war and fight the tribe next to them, and then they would drag the dead back to the cave and eat them as meat. It's fucking It's like it's just eat the enemy. They used to do that shit. Are we gonna go back to eating the enemy? I don't know, man. Depends. It depends on how many cows are left and how many chickens are left after the apocalypse. So pictures speak 1,000 words. Look at this. I love these guys, the Gray Zone. These guys should check it out. Right? I'm going to end on a heavier note. Right? So, by clasping hands with Netanyahu, top cop Kamala Harris whitewashes Israel's racism. So she's Miss Black, right? She's black as the ace of spades, she says. I'm black. I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman living in America. Meanwhile, her father, one of them is from Jamaica, who is not African American. They're Jamaican. They're from Jamaica, and the other one is Hindu. Is she Hindu or she's a Indian or something, or West Indian or whatever the fuck she is. They're not. She's not a black. She's not American black. She's riding that shit. She moves her head like this, like a black woman. I'm a black woman. It's bullshit. So, and is there racism in Israel? Of course. Right now, as we speak, Israel is bombing the shit out of the Gaza Strip, bombing the shit out of the Palestinian people in Gaza. Oh yeah, they deserve it. No, they deserve it. They threw rocks over the fence. They threw rocks and they might have struck a Jew in the head. We have to bomb them. We have to obliterate them. We have to flatten them so we can put in the settlements like what they did in the West Bank. The West Bank is gone. The West Bank is no more Palestine. The idea of a two-party, separate Israel between the West Bank and Gaza as Palestine and the rest of it as Israel is ridiculous because Israel already took care of heavily gentrifying the West Bank. It's just they can't get a hold on it in Gaza because of Hamas. Right? They're strong. They're fighting. They don't want any part of Netanyahu, Ariel Sharon, all the other scumbags that came before him. So, but Kamala Harris is okay with it. Kamala Harris is okay. A friendly meeting, California senator and self-declared top cop Kamala Harris held with Israel's right-wing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu shows she is more than willing to throw anti-racism and Palestinians under the bus. Gray Zone reporting. As the second black female senator in American history, Kamala Harris has been a pioneer. What's up, Vinny DiMartini is here. Vinny DiMartini, enter. What's up, Vinny, man? As a second black female senator in American history, Kamala Harris has been a pioneer in American politics. Many considered her to be a serious contender for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2020. Harris was even branded by the New York Times as the top cop in the era of Black Lives Matter. She did the opposite for blacks. She locked them up with marijuana reform. She locked up more blacks in California for pot reform and then laughed about having smoked pot herself. And on and on and on. I don't know all the details, but she's her policies are off. No Medicare for all. No, she's just a moderate. She's a corporate money grabber, right? And she's a pioneer for racism. Pfft. You support Israel. If you're willing to shake hands with Netanyahu, it's a racist nation. It's apartheid. Israel is an apartheid nation. We handled it in South Africa, and South African people took their boot off the black people's throats. But Israel refuses to do it to the Palestinian people. They refuse to end apartheid, a racist regime, who we support wholeheartedly, who we give arms to, who we defend, all over. We defend them from attack all over the world. They can defend themselves somewhat, but if the United States didn't back Israel, Israel is in a very bad neighborhood. If the United States didn't back Israel wholeheartedly, militarily, 3 weeks, it would be over. Israel would fold. Now, would Israel take out somebody with them? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Are they going to stop blowing up everybody around them before they go down? Oh, yeah. But will they cease to exist? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they're in a bad neighborhood. They're totally surrounded. If they get fucked. But Kamala Harris is on board with that. So the day before Netanyahu's meeting with Harris, the Israeli prime minister announced a plan to expel 40,000 non-Jew African migrants, branding the asylum seekers as infiltrators whose existence poses a threat to Israel's, quote, Jewish character. It's just blatant racism, right? And that's fine, right? Do it over there. Do it over there. Why do I care what Israel does? What the fuck do I care what Israel does? But why do we have to back it? That's the point. Why do our money, giving them arms, billions of dollars, why do we back them when they do shit like this, right? We're supposed to get out of the way, man. Let it fall. Let it fall. That's what I said to the LARPers. You let it fall. You don't, just because they have power and influence and they're still alive, you don't side with them. You let them fall so everybody can see what trash they are and scum. So anyway, for over half a century, black Americans have stood in solidarity with the Palestinians' struggle against Israeli occupation, right? Malcolm X, Angela Davis, Stokely Carmichael were passionate opponents of the Zionism. And James Baldwin, I love James Baldwin, he wrote Sonny's Blues, famously wrote, "The state of Israel was not created for the salvation of the Jews. It was created for the salvation of the Western interests." And it was. It was created right after World War II as a sanctuary for the Jew to go back and have a Jew homeland. Israel, the Jew, homeland for the Jew. Oh, those Palestinians that have been there 4,000 years, they are not Jew. They must go. It's not even 100 years. Right? It's 1940s, about 80 years ago. In the present day, black intellectuals such as Michelle Alexander, whoever that is, Eddie Gauld, and Cornel West have all endorsed a movement to boycott, divest, and sanctions of the BDS. To boycott, divest, and sanction Israel. And that became an illegal movement, and apparently signed in the United States Congress that would be illegal to boycott Israel. Illegal for corporations to boycott Israel, based on how they treat if your reasoning is the way they treat Palestinian people, so what? It's illegal. You could see how Palestinian people get irate, right? People that are from Israel, Palestinians from Israel. So anyway, there's one more piece of this. Yeah. So on that note, and I'll leave it on this one. How long have we been going for? An hour. Seems to be the sweet spot for me, right? I started running out of gas right around an hour. Did the U.S. have anything to do with the Beirut bombing? in Beirut, Lebanon, the alleged attack, the clear and convincing explosion of ammonium nitrate in the Beirut city port, did the United States have anything to do with it? How the United States helped push Lebanon to the brink of collapse and now threatens more sanctions. So the U.S.'s presence in the region, not so much Lebanon, but certainly next door in Syria, is a fucking problem, right? With Assad and Assad. People love that one too. Assad, he gassed his people. Assad. I didn't gas no people. That's propaganda, right? And so, did the U.S. have anything to do with it? While the media blames the crises in Lebanon solely on corruption, the U.S. government unleashed a maximum pressure campaign to push regime change and crush Lebanese resistance with sanctions and aggressive hybrid warfare. So what better way to destabilize? Use sanctions. Sanctions are war. Sanctions are an act of war. You starve people, 40,000 people. How many people did they kill in right now in Venezuela? How many people, right? Through starvation sanctions, right? It's aggression. It's powerful. But if you were to blow up their major port city, that would be beneficial too. Right? But how did the United States have a hand in blowing it up? No. Because the country is destable, the argument in this article that Ben Norton wrote is that because the United States is doing these sanctions and creating havoc in Lebanon, in Syria, and in that region, supporting ISIS so that they fight fucking Iraq or whatever the ridiculous ideologies are in those places, the U.S. military, theory of destabilizing regime changes so that they could put McDonald's and corporations in there, right? Put our corporations in charge of their oil, in charge of their commerce, in charge of their telephones, in charge of their internet. That's the goal. That's always the end game. Destabilize, move in the corporations, corporate profits. That's the whole fucking game, right? Cut and dry. Are they doing it in Lebanon? Yeah. So the bombing, the explosion works to our advantage. Oh yeah, fucking destabilize. We've been trying to do that through maximum pressure the whole fucking time. But here's the thing: if it's not the U.S. doing it deliberately, you're leaving a country unable to remove tons and tons of ammonium nitrate that was confiscated from a ship, explosive materials being stored in the port city of Beirut. Leaving it there. Get it out of there. Right? But you can't get it out of there because why? Because you're already defunded. You don't have the resources. You don't have the manpower, the chutzpah to get it done. So therefore, when you destabilize countries, accidents like this happen, or deliberate explosions like this happen, is the point of Mr. Norton's fine. I talked to Ben Norton one day. I met him in Strand Book. There's a little clip. I talked to him for like 2 or 3 minutes, and I was asking him about the Sanders. He writes some really good stuff. Venezuela, Juan Guaido, coup. So that I'm not going to read it all, but that's basically what Norton is saying. Ben Norton is saying in this Gray Zone article is that we did contribute. We did contribute to the bombing, the horrific bombing in Lebanon, based on our sanction activity and based on our unwillingness to work with Hezbollah. Right? In the excuse in Israel is Hamas, and in this region is Hezbollah. Politics. Right? We don't like your politics. We want regime change. We want someone who's willing to sit at the table and give us everything. Give us everything we ask for. We want free commerce in your country so we can suck the resources out. Yeah, we'll give some people some jobs, but for the most part, we're going to suck the resources out and transfer your wealth to our ruling class, into our stock markets. That's where we want your wealth. We want to control your wealth in our stock markets, and not Americans per se. Although we're doing okay. We're not living in supreme poverty yet, but we're getting there. People are getting there. A lot of people are getting to that point. But that's how that shit works, man. That's how that shit works, man. So anyway, Marcus Conte reporting. So good morning, everybody, and you know what I mean. So that's just another day in the. If you're joining us late, I missed yesterday because I was investigating the incident at. I was in a hearing. I was in a closed door hearing with the New York State Division of Human Rights to weed out what the hell is going on at the Brooklyn Hospital with the racist security guards. And I could tell you, oh boy, watch the beginning of the video. Oh, they have an interest. The New York State Division of Human Rights, who I have dealt with in the past, are interested in knowing what the hell happened, right? Because they're poking and asking, and the hospital's running scared. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it in front of me. They don't want to have me on the conference call. They want a private conversation with the investigator, and they'll have that, but I get to see those minutes, all of it. I get to see the investigator's notes, just as my notes are shown to her. I hope she doesn't show my notes to them beforehand because, hey, listen, I take impeccable notes, man. I know everything that was said. Trust me. Every word that was said, I know what was said, okay? Just trust me on that. So if there's any shenanigans, any funny business, it will come out. Trust me. That's not a threat. That's not a threat. That's called free and fair press. That's called covering your ass. That's what that's called. At Brooklyn Hospital Center and Division of Human Rights. But I'm comfortable. I'm confident that the Division of Human Rights is going to return a probable cause decision so that the Brooklyn Hospital will come clean. It's an opportunity to come clean. We may not get to a trial, but they'll come clean, and then we can put this thing to rest. You know what I'm saying? So, put it to rest. Man. 'Cause that's all I really want, man. I just want to rest. Man. I'm fucking tired, man. I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired. Man. Let me rest, New York Division of Human Rights. So thank you everybody for joining me. Vinny DiMartini in the chat. Keeping down the trolls. Vinny knows all these trolls, man. He knows all these fucks. Raymond Duncan, Gunob, Jason Walsh, TJ, Corporate Jake, who else? Loyal Opposition, my music too loud. Is my music too loud? My music too loud. So thanks everybody. Have a great day, man. Christian Lifetime, New York City. Yeah, baby. Don't worry about me, man. I ain't going anywhere, man. I know I wasn't here yesterday, but I'm here today, man. I'm here with you. I'm here for you. I am here for you. If you missed the notifications, that's just life. That's just life on the edge, man. You gotta show up here at 9 a.m. If you show up here at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, there's 90% chance I'll be here doing this. Every day at 9, you don't need a notification. Just show up. All right? I'll be here. Most of the time. And if I'm not, I apologize. But unless I'm out on the road, right? If I'm outside, I'm going to get better material being outside, not sitting here doing the morning show. So that's what I'm saying, man. So you don't really need the notifications. You need to wake up. What's this? I'm going to try to find something else. I like this. Thanks, everybody.